You know us as a company that no matter what the connectivity is, we will be number one. Brought in is all about computing, especially low power computing is always Qualcomm were number one.
Okay. So coming to some of the technologies and some of the challenges associated with it that OEMs are facing. Any thoughts? What could be done on that side? How could those startups be supported where they could really become big IoT maybe use cases?
We were also bringing in transformational a digital transformation into your cars, into the cars that the Indian consumers drive, all powered by Qualcomm. So it's all about when you look at it's all about intelligence at the edge.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Techlogues. As you know, in this first series, we are talking to uh, senior leaders from technology fraternity, especially the devices ecosystem, to understand how 2025 is going to be and what were the key achievements or what were the key highlights of 2024. And today with me, I have Mr. Savi Soin. Welcome, Savi, to Techlogues.
Thank you very much.
Uh, personally, my journey with Qualcomm has been long, there for now around 14, 15 years. And I don't know, it's kind of a tradition that I have done many things, Qualcomm first things, okay? So my first research report was with Qualcomm, my first business development activity was with Qualcomm, my first webinar was with Qualcomm, and it's happening that my podcast series, the first one, among the first interviews I'm having with you.
Great, great. Thank you very much. Qualcomm is always the first.
Yeah. So, Savi, it's been around over a year and a half that you have been
About a
in
year and a
India.
half, yeah.
Yeah. So, to begin with, just maybe in a minute and a half, can you take us through what are the key things that you have been focusing over this period?
I came in about a year and a half ago and with three sort of key goals, right? Strategy in India, right? First one was to really showcase all the premium experiences and innovations that Qualcomm was driving. So that was my number one goal. The second one was Snapdragon for India, right? Showcase, really get products that are designed for the Indian consumers, right? And then the third one was Snapdragon in India. Do more in India with regards to supporting the government initiatives in semiconductors, make in India, design in India, right? And I'm very proud that the team that we have here, as well as, and I don't say the business team only, the engineering team primarily, as well as the engineering team, have been able to deliver. 24 was a great year for us, right? We made strides in a lot of different areas. For example, in Snapdragon for India, you were there for a bunch of events last year. We showcased, the 5G device that was, below, $100, right? And now, proud to say it's hovering way below that threshold that we had set, right? We were also bringing in a digital transformation into your cars, into the cars that the Indian consumers drive, all powered by Qualcomm. So super proud about what we set forth, and 24 has been a great year for us, and I think in 25 we're just getting started.
That's great. And I keep on following you on LinkedIn, and you always say this is just the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Year and a half. I mean, we're just starting.
Okay. So, thanks for this, quick kind of roundup of since you have been in India. Now, going back to, overall Qualcomm. So, you also, Qualcomm has restructured a lot in recent times. Now, one of the taglines which you have changed is, this human progress, engineering human progress. So, what exactly, can you decode this for, us all? What does this mean? What are you trying to, engineer?
Yeah. So I think, look, it's all about when you look at it's all about intelligence at the edge, right? What we are trying to do is bring, first was connectivity. You know us as a company that no matter what the connectivity is, we will be number one, right? The second thing, we brought in is all about computing, right? We wanted to make sure that, if it's computing, especially low power computing, is always Qualcomm were number one, right? And now, very recently, we are all about driving AI at the edge, right? And doing more and more use cases with on-device AI. it's amazing to see, how many different parameters, can be, how many billion different parameters can be run on the edge. So we're very excited about sort of what we are able to do in a plethora of devices.
Okay. Oh. So Savi, you know, prior to what I saw maybe earlier times, there were kind of two islands in India when it comes to Qualcomm. There was an engineering team, and there was Qualcomm India team, which was kind of nurturing OEM ecosystem, if I would say like that. And honestly, many a times when I would kind of interact with, say, engineering team in Bangalore, they would at times get surprised that, okay, there is Qualcomm in Gurgaon also. Okay, so that was the kind of disconnect. But now I have seen that is very much integrated. And as you said, sub 99, it has really, resulted in that kind of a synergy. So what is the thought behind this?
We do a lot of investments in India. The team, if you go to our team, like you said, you have been to our teams in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Noida. They're just doing amazing innovation, right? All we're doing, my job is a lot easier with the level of innovation they're doing, right? And our when I came here, my CEO was very clear. It's one team Qualcomm, right, with one mission, right? And I think we're sort of driving, towards that goal. And unlike other companies, not only are we making significant investments, you look at other companies, they'll have support engineering here, right? When I go to the to OEM auto OEMs, or I go to any of the MNOs here, right? And I showcase the ability to customize products, here, right? It's pretty amazing the talent that we have in our engineering design centers, and they're able to leverage some of that stuff and to the level possible, and it's been great.
Okay. So coming to some of the technologies and some of the challenges associated with it that OEMs are facing. I think it started with 5G. It is somewhere with AI also. There's a kind of discomfort how to really monetize it. Okay.
Yeah.
If you look at how 5G has kind of panned out, how AI is panning out right now, it is at the end of the day only helping OEM to retain a certain price level. It's not letting them really earn that premium out of it. So any initiatives on that side where you are helping maybe OEMs, operators and other ecosystem that they could really monetize on 5G and AI?
So look, I think if I look at the analogy, right, I think it's like monetizing World Wide Web, right? Or but I think the way to monetize, my opinion, humble opinion, I think AI uh, is changing everything in how you interact with your device, right? In terms of you'll see a lot of voice enabled UI, right? You'll see AI agents on the phone, right? You'll see a lot of personalized models that are running that will require personalization. So, for example, right, let's say I'm doing a search, and people know that I like pickles, or I like to eat savory food. I'm not don't like desserts per se. Then the AI agent would know Savi's personal desires, right? And or tastes, and then that search, if I'm searching for a restaurant near me, would be more appropriate searches for me, rather than just my location, right? So you can see how, in my opinion, the AI use cases are tremendous, right? Like there are, I'll give you another example, right? Just summarization, right? It's amazing. Our headquarters are in San Diego, and oftentimes I miss meetings because they're at 3 in the morning. And, with the AI agents able to summarize exactly what happened in the meeting, instead of, somebody attending a 1 hour meeting and then give me a 5 minute download, right? It's the like completely changing how we interact, right? And I just gave you two of them. I can tell you the car OEMs, especially in India, are very excited about what AI can do, within the vehicle, right? Even the two-wheelers guys are very excited. I'll go to some of the two-wheeler guys and some of the guys that are doing lenses, actually, right? Very interested in what smart glasses and how to bring smart glasses ecosystem into India. So I think, I really mean what I say, which is, yeah, I think we're just getting started with the cusp of, taking India, at least on-device AI, is a huge tailwind for India. And I think 25 is going to be awesome and beyond.
Okay, we'll delve a bit deep, but on a lighter note, your love for Qualcomm and your love for pickles it's in public domain, so we have not used any AI to kind of extract this info. Okay, so if you look at Qualcomm businesses, or interests, so there is this personal computing. We have smartphones, we have wearables, we have laptops, we have a host of devices over there. Then the other side is auto. Okay, and third could be the IoT, where there is again a lot that's happening. So how do you see all these three progressing in India as of now, and what are you expecting in 2025?
So I think I'm super excited about. I think the 5G. We've launched our 5G fixed wireless products with two of the large operators in India, and I think we're very excited to see the growth there. I think we continue to see. I think the PC stuff we're just literally taking off. The smartphone ecosystem, I think, relatively, I think we're paying more attention and bringing more use cases there. But beyond that, I think smart glasses is a big area that I think there's a lot of innovation here that I think we're looking at what are things, some of the things Meta is doing, and what can be applicable into India. So I think overall, I'd say beyond PCs and smartphones, there's a lot of different areas I think we're very excited about.
So are you somewhere like happy with the progress of AR VR as a whole, or you feel it has not gone on the expected lines so far?
No, personally, I'm always very impatient, right? People call me very impatient, right? So always there's something to improve. But I'd say, I think you'll see a lot of good things in 25 is all I can say at the moment.
Okay. So you also do a lot of initiatives to support or to align with government's vision, be it Make in India, Startup India, you have QDICO there. You even support women entrepreneurs. So there are lots of such initiatives. So what can you just give us an update? What's happening on those initiatives?
So I think we Prime Minister Modi announced a 100 use case or in the labs, and I think we're very supportive of that. We're actually supporting I don't know exact number, but I think about 20 or so universities labs we are supporting. We are also supporting, as you said, the design initiative as well. We're now in discussions about doing, what can we do with semiconductors. We have a semiconductor mentorship program that we run out of our Bangalore facility. Our engineering team is doing a great job there. And there are a few more that we are doing in terms of women entrepreneurs and so on and so forth. So I think we're really overall in the government, I think we're very aligned because we're such a tech partner. We often had discussions with METI or DOT and talking about what else we can do and what else India should be doing, right? And it's a very open dialogue on, and so we are, I think, very complementary in that. I think we can enable and help enable a lot of these initiatives.
Right. On IoT's thing, by nature, it's very fragmented, and use cases are scattered around across the country. If I look at like this, and sometimes they're very concentric. They may not be applicable. So that obviously reduces the scope, and it becomes very difficult for such startups to not just I would say survive, but also then go big. Any thoughts? What could be done on that side? How could those startups be supported, where they could really become big IoT maybe use cases?
Look, I think the good news is India, this massive scale, right? I think what we are doing also, I didn't touch upon this, is helping startups export and go look for, because we are global, we'll look for markets where we can help them in the US, in Japan, in now in Middle East, as well as in Europe and other places as well. In fact, we have a lot of my colleagues from different regions coming in, looking at startups and saying, okay, I think this can be applicable partner for this particular thing. So I think I agree, it's fragmented. But, for example, if you break the problem down into, let's say, connectivity, cellular, modules, right? I think there's a lot of opportunity there, for Indian startups, for India as well as outside, right? It's a very large market, right? The second thing, obviously, is retail. I mean, retail, India is a leader in retail. So you can see a lot of stuff that's developed here can be, like point of sale, some of the sound boxes, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of opportunity to take that. So we're working with some of the OEMs here. And then I think we're looking at things like cameras and AI cameras, AI edge boxes. And then, that has applicability in the enterprise here as well as, overseas. So we're certainly looking at, and I think that's why, people love working with us. Not only do we provide tech, we provide a go-to-market, and connect the folks here with opportunities in India. They already know India, but outside India is a great opportunity for them.
Coming to two interesting, initiatives or steps. One was at the time of 4G when, you guys participated in Spectrum, and that kind of, gave that time momentum to the entire, things happening around 4G. And this time you have done this, opening up into retail. Very interesting, I would say initiative, because I look at it from a perspective where there are a lot of, online first brands in India. And one of the hiccups for them in scaling up has been, getting into the offline. So what exactly are you trying to achieve with this?
With the
With going offline, what you recently,
Chroma?
Chroma.
Okay, so I think very excited about what we did with Chroma last week. It was a dream. I think our CEO and my COO had, Akash had, which was really showcase in India what is possible across devices, right? I mean, we're not just in PC like some of our competitors. They're just in PCs, or we're not just in phones, right? Some other competitors are pretty much just in phones. We're in a lot of devices that are enabled by Snapdragon. So what we wanted to showcase is, what all is Qualcomm enabling and how these things work better together, right? There are glasses there are wearables, there are hearables, there are watches there, right? As well as, there are phones and there are AI PCs as well. So what we want to really showcase is, hey, here's a zone where you can come in and really experience a Snapdragon like the employees of Qualcomm experience every day, right? That was really the motivation for it, right? And I think that's one store, and then you'll see us announce a lot more in the next few months.
So something very, I would say, a step aggressive than very much celebrated campaign within the semiconductor industry about, something inside. Now it's like Snapdragon outside, so you're just outside facing the consumer and maybe increasing the awareness. Okay, that's great. One more question about AI, because that's something that deserves a bit of more attention. So on-device AI is very important, we all understand. In context of India, why do you feel it's maybe a bit more important? Is it because of the network quality or security concerns? So what are your...
I think all of the above, right? I think the fact that we believe that you can train the models in the cloud, but inference on Qualcomm, right? We just believe that the capability and the horsepower that these devices are now bringing forth to the consumer, they are capable of a lot, right? I mean, you can run 20 billion parameters, let's say, on a PC, all the way in a car. You could do up to 60 billion, plus in some cases even more than 60 billion parameters. So in a eyewear you can run about close to a billion parameter model, right? So you could do a lot of capability and horsepower these now computing devices have, right? And with personalization, just the example I just gave you earlier, there'll be a lot of the whole thing will change in terms of what personalized. Some of these models will be personalized. I think the AI agents are coming. So we believe that just it's not economical to run all these, do inference in the cloud. There's so much horsepower that these devices have. I think there's and people are starting to actually leverage it. You talked about connectivity, you talked about privacy, we talked about personalization, right? There's a lot of that thing. There's no one thing, but there's a plethora of a lot of different things that can do. And like networks in some areas, you can get through, especially when there's a traffic jam, right? Imagine if you're in a, when I'm in a jam, usually on my laptop doing an email, with Copilot Plus, it's running, right? It doesn't need a network all the time. So it'll able to do all of the stuff that I'm able to do. And when I get a network, great, right? So I think like really, I really believe, and we have a lot of discussion with the AI mission and others, really trying to showcase the capability of on-device AI, right? And why we believe India can be a leader in that.
Okay. My last question, Savi. As I said, I have seen a lot of activity in Qualcomm India over the past 1.5 year, and it's literally like, if I kind to, recollect what is something similar that has happened, it's perhaps when, Michael Dell announced that Dell is a private limited and it's the largest startup. So I see this as a Qualcomm 2.0 right now in India, Qualcomm India 2.0, very much kind of that startup energy and everything, everybody so aggressive about whatever you are trying to do. So is it kind of over? Have you achieved what you wanted, or we are going to see this continuing over there?
Like I keep saying, we're just getting started. But I would say it's the team, right? We have an amazing team, right? Both in engineering. I think my job is quite easy, right? We have the right people in the right job. We have just an amazing team, amazing culture at Qualcomm. It exists at Qualcomm headquarters, right? And now I think where the team is executing. We just need to execute. I think if you look at a roadmap, look at what's planned for 25. I think it's just going to be an amazing year, and I think next few years, I think we are going to become much more valuable in the Indian ecosystem, than we have been in the past. So I think, like I said, amazing team, in engineering as well as in the business side, and my job's quite easy now.
Okay, thanks a lot. It was really wonderful talking to you, and thanks for taking out time, especially today when we are kind of immersed into cricket. And you got time and
That's right.
agreed to be a guest on my show. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Very good to see you.
Thank you.